Train car, students were chatting away, laughing nonstop. They had no clue that death was creeping closer. In the driver's cabin, the conductor froze in terror. On the opposite track, a freight train was barreling straight toward them. He slammed the gas pedal to the floor. In the nick of time, the tour train finally made it onto the backup track, dodging what would have been a deadly disaster. Those kids would never know just how close they came to death. Right then, Anna dug up some terrifying info. The cars this train was hauling were loaded with liquid phenol and diesel fuel. What does that mean? If it crashed or exploded, the entire town would be wiped off the map in an instant. This wasn't just a train anymore. This was basically a missile flying down the tracks. Even scarier, it was heading straight for the most crowded part of the city. Police from multiple states rushed to every crossing, media swarmed in for coverage, and government officials jumped in too. No matter the cost, they had to stop this runaway train. First, they calculated the train's exact speed once. They confirmed it was steady at 70 to 71 miles. Per HR, they immediately dispatched a rescue team and a highly skilled train engineer to stand by at the next station. At the same time, they ordered local police to completely lock down the scene. Here was the plan: use a helicopter to drop that engineer onto the train. But first, they had to find a way to slow this thing down. To slow it down, they needed to get a locomotive onto the same track ahead of it, match its speed, then slowly brake until it could couple with train 777. That way, using the locomotive's braking system, they could bring its speed down. Operating this locomotive was a veteran engineer with 26 years of experience. When the helicopter carrying the young engineer reached the position, the veteran's locomotive had already caught up with 777, speeds perfectly synced. Now they just needed to gradually slow down and complete the coupling. The locomotive started its first attempt to slow down. 777 suddenly slammed into it violently. Sparks flew everywhere. The braking system let out a piercing alarm. According to the original plan, the veteran only needed to drop the speed to 50 miles per HR, but he knew damn well that at this speed, there was no way they'd couple on the first try. They'd have to keep trying to catch the perfect moment. Everyone held their breath, eyes glued to the scene. After attempt by the veteran, the two trains finally pressed tight together. When the speed dropped to 40, the veteran immediately radioed up. "Now get on board." The guys in the helicopter didn't waste a second. They started lowering the young engineer down. But the second he touched the roof, 777 suddenly detached from the locomotive, then violently crashed back into it. By the time everyone realized what happened, the young engineer had already passed out. The entire operation had failed. Dispatch immediately activated the backup plan. There was a switch up ahead. Dispatch wanted the veteran to use the locomotive to force 777 onto the sidetrack. But before entering the sidetrack, they had to slow it down first, so the veteran had to keep working on reducing its speed. The track was already switched, but the veteran's locomotive was losing control over 777. After several violent collisions, not only did the locomotive fail to slow it down, it actually got pushed into a full-speed sprint. Finally, at the moment of merging onto the sidetrack, the massive momentum plus 777's brutal impact sent the veteran's locomotive flying right off the rails.